So I'm live at Leicester Square for the premiere of In From the Side, and I've got a wonderful cast member here, and that is Kane Surry. Good evening, Kane.
Hello, lovely to meet you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. It's delightful to actually capture you fresh from the premiere tonight. How does it feel sitting in the audience watching tonight?
It's mad. Like, I've been doing this career for like 10 years, and like it's such a slog, like getting through different things. There's so many, like, especially indie films, so many indie films you do, some of them don't see the light of day, some of them don't hear about for a while, like this one, and then suddenly, out of the blue, it just sort of like steamrolls and goes on and on. So yeah, it's a really proud moment actually to see it today.
It's been a tough couple of years for the film industry, hasn't it? Yeah. And listening to the Q&A after the premiere tonight, it's interesting to hear about the challenges before a film actually gets to go to production and be seen. But for you personally, it's been probably an interesting journey to go through this whole transition of the COVID and theatre being shut and film production to actually getting the casting call and being involved in such a wonderful project. How does it feel sitting watching it come to fruition?
Well, weirdly, we filmed this film before COVID, so like that makes even more sense. So like we filmed it in early 2019, and like it was one of those things where like it had a lot of buzz about it. What was great about this film was that it has a good team element to it, so the whole team aspect means that we all kept in touch for so long over COVID and not hearing much about the film. We all stayed in touch on the WhatsApp group. So like in early this year, when suddenly we found out it was going to the BFI, it was like, oh my god, okay, it's got a life about it. It's fantastic.
Congratulations to you though, because to actually sit and watch your work on the big screen, how does that feel?
Oh, it is very, very odd. You know, you look at yourself and you're like, oh my god, 2019 was very kind. But also, yeah, it's nice to see the whole cohesive part of it come together, because you don't, when you're like rolling around in the mud, which this film is about, like, you know, you don't see like the camera aspect to it, but when you see how well it's put together, the soundtrack, everything like that, it's great.
And it's interesting because the concept of the story, it's very much obviously it's centred around the game of rugby, but a love affair, and the intensity of the love affair, and obviously, you know, the journey that the main characters experience. But for you, do you find it relatable? Is there parts of this movie in any way that you find relatable or you've tapped into personally?
Absolutely. I think with any relationship or any group of friendship, everything like that, temptation can happen, alcohol can be involved, especially in the gay community, and you know, you can be tempted to stray, anything like that. It's what you do with what you're faced with, isn't it? I suppose it's like it's everywhere for everyone.
It is. And I personally watched the film and I thought it's so much more than that. The message is about acceptance, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And about being accepted through whatever community you're in or whatever situation you're in. But for you, it must be wonderful because, like you said earlier on, we were chatting off camera, you know, you're seeing it with people that you might not necessarily have been filming on set with. So the first time you're seeing your co-actors all together in the one film, it must be really, really wonderful for you.
It really is. It's amazing. And tonight is going to be one of those nights where we're like, oh my god, like hello, I'd like to see you, nice to see you on screen, but but nice to meet you in person. It's fantastic because we got in the bubble of like the team aspect, so like being part of the wider team. I always compare it to being like Harry Potter. You've got the main three and then you've got Gryffindor. Well, I was sort of part of Gryffindor, and then you forget there's other aspects of the movie as well, so meeting all those people is fantastic, and like being like, hello, good to see you on set.
Well, I really appreciate your time. I know that we've met for the first time this evening, and it's wonderful to actually, as a performer, as a creative, to actually be able to speak to you fresh in the evening, in the moment. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, and thank you for chatting to me. It's been lovely to meet you.
Thank you. Kane, well done.
Thank you. Cheers.